Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. We got the Browns at Steelers. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Browns are +6 going into Heinz Field, and we saw that jump up. I have the Browns to cover. I have the Steelers to win. I really like the Steelers when it was -3.5. But +6 is just too much for the Browns. I know Stefanski won't be coaching. Mike Pfeiffer will be coaching, the old special teams coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He's a damn good coach. I think Stefanski will have a little bit of effect, but I didn't know it would push it up to +6. I guess there's still some questions if the Browns have COVID in the facility. There are some players who might miss the game. We'll get to all of that. But still, Browns are going to cover. Steelers are going to win. And this Steelers team is entering a good moment. Yes, we saw them lose those games. We saw them get absolutely demoralized by the Cincinnati Bengals. But right now, the Steelers are in a good position. We saw their second and third stringers almost beat the Browns last week. Yes, that was a vanilla game plan from the Browns. Yes, they were trying to save themselves for the playoffs. But that was a troublesome game for the Browns, and everything's been troublesome the last 3 or 4 weeks with the Browns, the play on the field, the Jets game, the COVID. We've seen so many problems for the Cleveland Browns, and it feels like a team that is completely just sinking near the end of the season. It's happening in a wide variety of ways. It's not just one specific issue that's hurting the team. Everything seems to be forming a circle around this team and just attacking it from the inside out. It is quite a dangerous situation if you're a Cleveland team. The first matchup I want to talk about was this Browns offense versus the Steelers defense. I think the Steelers have a very good front seven, especially in the run game. We know the Browns' strength is Nick Chubb. One problem that has been bothering me the last few weeks is the lack of involvement of Nick Chubb in the offense. When I look at Nick Chubb, I look at a guy who needs to get that rock 25 to 30 times in a game for the Browns to be successful. Baker needs to play action. If Baker's dropping back there, a la the Jets game, if he's dropping back there 45, 50 times, the Browns have no chance to win the game. The more Nick Chubb touches this rock, the better chance the Browns have to win this game, and they're going to be tested. Now, here's the first battle of this game. Here's the first reason why coaching is going to be important. Okay, we know the Steelers, probably the strength of their defense is stopping the run, and they have really good run fits in that 3-4 scheme they play. So we're going to see a strong Steelers run defense, but the Browns can't get discouraged. If Nick Chubb comes out and it's 7 carries for 15 yards and the Browns are already down a touchdown, they can't quit the running game. If they quit the running game, they will lose, and they're in a dangerous position. If they stop running the ball, they could get blown out. They need to stick with Chubb even if they don't get success early. They need to get their big offensive line moving forward. And I really like the way this Cleveland offensive line gets forward and attacks people. They aren't the best pass blocking unit, but they don't need to be. You want them going forward, and you want to throw a lot of play action passes with Baker. That's when Baker's at his best. And then on the play action, he can float right, and there's just more rhythm throughout the offense. Those are the keys for the Browns. If they don't get Chubb involved in this game, they have zero chance of winning this game. They just don't. And then you also have a hungry guy like Kareem Hunt, who will get some action, who will make a contribution. But this all starts with Nick Chubb. And when you look at the Browns wide receivers, without Odell Beckham, there is explosion in this Browns receiving and tight end core. Let's be real. But the Browns also need to look at Jarvis Landry early and often. I want to see what the Steelers do with him. I want to see if he's doubled. If I was in Mike Tomlin's shoes, I would probably double Jarvis Landry in passing situations, and I would make Baker Mayfield work with his other targets and put pressure on Baker Mayfield. Make make Baker Mayfield make tough decisions. Don't just leave Jarvis Landry one-on-one when he's in the slot and he's on the crossing route on 3rd and 7. That's where Jarvis Landry eats. You can't let him eat. Let the others beat you. I think Mike Tomlin will heed my advice. And then we got to get to the matchup. We got the Steelers offense versus the Browns defense, and this is an interesting matchup for a wide variety of reasons. You got Big Ben. We saw that stalemate the Steelers offense got into near the end of the season. Then you saw that miraculous, that dramatic, that magisterial second half against the Indianapolis Colts. And it seems like that will be enough positive momentum. But let me be clear here. I still have worries about the Steelers offense because they don't run the ball at all. They just can't. Their short passing game is their run game. And you're going to see teams get in press coverage. You're going to see the Browns get in press coverage. But here's the problem with the Browns getting in press coverage and playing a lot of tight man-to-man. They don't have the corners to do it. Denzel Ward's on the COVID list. We don't know if he's going to play. Sendejo, who's a really good tackling free safety in space against things like wide receiver screens. He's on the COVID list. We don't know if he will play. So those are dramatic problems for the Browns secondary. And then it's looking like Olivier Vernon is out. And I'm thinking out loud here, but is it just me? Or is this Browns defensive line rather pedestrian when you look outside of Myles Garrett? We know Myles Garrett's elite. We know Myles Garrett is an absolute baller and a top 10 defensive player in this league. But without Olivier Vernon, it looks like he won't play from all information pointing now. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Smash that like button. It looks like I think the Steelers offense can contain this Browns defensive line. And I think that will be a big part. I mean, for instance, I think this Pittsburgh Steelers pass rush is better than the Browns pass rush. And I'm not saying Watt is better than Myles Garrett. I just think the tandem of defensive lines favors the Steelers. I think this Browns defensive line can be contained by the Steelers offensive line. So this whole Cleveland game plan is on their secondary. They have to get up. They have to play press coverage. They can't let Berger get in rhythm with the wide receiver screens and the short passes. They have to get up in the Steelers' faces. And I don't know if they have the dogs on the outside to do it. Even if Denzel Ward was playing, I don't know if they have the dogs on the outside to do it. The Colts didn't have the dogs on the outside to do it in the second half against the Steelers. So these are some interesting prospects, but Big Ben has to hit a few down the field. He has to get aggressive early, and he has to get some confidence because we saw some games he just couldn't get in a rhythm. He needs to start early. He needs to get something 15 to 30 yards in that range. I'm not asking for a deep shot. I'm not asking for a 60-yard play. I'm asking for something that's just bat this defense off and give them something to think about. I think Berger will do it, but the Steelers offense will be carried by the Steelers defense, I believe. And I think Ben Roethlisberger's ready, guys. I really think this is his time. He is ready to come in here, and this is his last swan song. We saw he found God during the offseason, but we've seen a better season from him. And it looks like this is about as healthy as Big Ben has been since he entered the playoffs. I think that will have some results, and I think Big Ben will get things cooking. And we have to talk about Heinz Field here. We got to talk about the special teams in this game. I do think the Browns keep it close. I do think they cover the +6, but the special teams could have an impact here. No one kicks good at Heinz Field. I don't care who you are. You just don't kick well at Heinz Field. And both teams have pretty good special teams. I would give the Browns the advantage, but in Heinz Field, it always favors the Steelers. The Steelers always get the lucky bounce. They always make more field goals than the opposing team. The Browns can't be kicking a lot of field goals this game. They have to go in and they have to put up 6 points. I expect at least 2 extra points missed in this game, by the way, if anyone's trying to bet that. So, I mean, And when I'm looking at this, I'm kind of going to look at the psychological perspective of this. Man, it feels like everything's working against the Browns this game. And the Browns have won us a lot of money this year, and the Browns have played good football at times this year. And Baker Mayfield's actually taking care of the ball, something we all wanted him to do. I just don't know if Baker Mayfield has enough in this game to create enough plays. I think the Steelers defense will stop Chubb. I think they will focus on Chubb. I think they will demoralize whoever's calling the plays for the Browns in the first quarter. And I think they'll work Chubb out of the game. I think Chubb will disappear this game, and that's why the Steelers will win. But the Steelers' offense will struggle at times. They will struggle at times, but I believe they have 3 or 4 big drives, and that will be enough to win the game. I want to just say, the matchup to watch this game, the biggest thing is Browns secondary versus the Pittsburgh wide receivers. The Browns secondary comes out and plays good, they will pull an upset. I don't see them playing good. I don't think they have enough talent and not enough dogs without Denzel Ward. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. If you want to get the over-under for this game, make sure you go check out my over-under video that I do every week. This is the best gambling show on the internet. Smash that like button. Share the videos. Thank you, guys. Let's get it this wild card round.